jak panu idzie nauka języka polskiego? To już się nagrywa.
Rozmowy?
Że BCH to miejsce dla ciebie. BCH zostawiamy w domu ego. BCH i gramy na całego. BCH nie zapomnijmy tego. Basket dla każdego. BCH w domu zostaw ego. BCH zagraj na całego. BCH nie zapomnij tego. Basket dla każdego.
Kurwa, Hanna! NBA!
Basket dla każdego.
Dzień dobry, strefa Chanasa się kłania i dzisiaj trener Śląska Wrocław, Ainars Bagatskis. Witam trenerze bardzo serdecznie. Czy możemy sobie mówić na ty?
Ja, oczywiście.
Jak się trener czuje we Wrocławiu? Kapitalna robota, trzeba pochwalić, bo trudny sezon, Eurocup, Polska Liga. Często trener mówi o brutal schedule. Ten brutal schedule często coach mówi, jak ten sezon wygląda w wielkim skrócie na początek, bo będziemy sobie odpowiadać na pytania kibiców, będziemy sobie dyskutować.
Well, probably I had to say, of course, like I said, from not easy season. That was a clear from beginning, because if you decide playing Euro Cup and after those games you're coming back to the Polish league, by the way, they're very competitive league, especially in this year. There is no limitations. Every team has a deep roster. They are aggressive, especially in road games, and you have to know how, first of all, from beginning, how is your body feels, because we are not experienced team for this level. Let's say for Euro Cup, there is a just Sano, got little bit. He was like bench player, deep bench player years ago in Prometei. And okay, Nizio got experience, but all others, that's a first experience. And what that mean? Like 2 really tough games in per week plus traveling. And we are not experienced for Euro Cup, and also half of the team not experienced for PLK because they don't know what expecting. We have like really 5, let's say 6 experienced players, and then we have kids who just do the first steps in professional basketball and high-level basketball.
Ja się bardzo cieszę, że daje trener szansę. Musimy też powiedzieć, ja będę zadawał pytania po polsku, będzie odpowiadał po angielsku. Jak będzie chciał, będzie odpowiadał po polsku, natomiast dla tych, co nie będą rozumieli, będą napisy wklejone, może lektor, ale z lektorem nie wiem, czy się będę bawił. Cieszę się bardzo, że wprowadza trener młodych graczy w Śląsku, co w ostatnich latach różnie to wyglądało i każdy gdzieś tam dostaje szansę, nawet gdzieś tam w mediach się mówiło, a czemu Sternicki nie gra, ale dostaje te szanse, raz mniej, raz więcej, ale gra. Jaki ma, moje pytanie są młodych zawodników, jaki ma trener pomysł na nich w tym sezonie? Czy to jest tak, że oni muszą wywalczyć minuty, czy ma trener, kurde, trzeba komuś pomóc zaistnieć w dorosłej koszykówce?
That's exactly, I start from the last one. I count is always I am. As for me, I don't care what other coaches thinks, of course. Especially if you are a foreign coach, first and most important is result. Everybody remember just result. They forget how is the team play, what the team did, bad game anyway, but win. That's most important, and it's good result. But for me, like a coach, and when I start like a coach, I remember those steps when I was a kid. That's really, it's important coach support. Not all coaching staff support for young guys who just, like I mentioned, do the first steps in professional basketball. And I'm not that type of coach. Of course, there is that we are saying there is garbage time. That's plus minus 20, the kids get a chance. No way. Better, my opinion is, I know,
He's 20%.
it's there is let's say better play the 1, 2, 3 minutes under really good pressure, yeah, Okay, sometimes you have to play the garbage time because all the kids, all the players, probably if you are not Luka Doncic or Christos Porzingis, everybody went through to this. Yeah, but you have to know what that means. Pressure, just under pressure, you can show your best. And there is sometimes like for sure for all these young guys, Czernevich, even for Wisniewski, okay, he spent few years in PLK, for Sternitsky, for Urbaniak. Yeah, Urbaniak didn't play for 4 years. He played now is a much more and it can't last 4 years together.
Oglądam konferencje prasowe, trener często
I don't know what he did there, in Spain. Yeah, and I think all these guys now, with this schedule, with these practices, of course, everybody, like I'm calling, of course, the players mad on me because all the players want to play. They are not realistically looking on the things. They want to play. I can play, I cannot play, I need to play or not. They want to play.
Jak będą mieć 40 lat, to wtedy zrozumieją trenera. Ja to samo
Wcześniej. And I said, that's good. That's good. That's good when you are mad on me. I said to the players, just show the opposite. Start with the practice, show the opposite, and you're going to play. And till now, I think all the players got a chance. All the players got a chance because, like I said, for day one, we cannot survive in this season, in this schedule, if we play just with the 5 experienced players. We need 10, 11 players per game. For a game, using the game, and no, not garbage minutes. We need the 5-7 minutes. Let's touch, for example, last game. 5 players give the result. Rest of the players gives nothing. Okay, we lost a few points. And when we won those games in Euro Cup and also in PL Cup, we using for those 9, 10, 11 players, and everybody gives something. That's most important for our position. Now, I don't care what others, how they put the team together, what they think. For us is important survive. For beginning, take experience and then use that experience.
Czyli trener jak mówi o brutal schedule, bo do czego zmierzam? Sam grałem w Eurocupie i graliśmy w Eurolidze. W Zielonej Górze jechaliśmy do Berlina, z Berlina lataliśmy w Eurocupie, ale mieliśmy doświadczoną drużynę. 10-12, ale experience. Czyli trener ma, rozumiem, że ten brutal schedule jest do unexperienced drużyny. O to chodzi.
I really don't understand one side. I really want to meet those guys who just set the schedule. For example, we got Monday, PLK. Yesterday we got Euro Cup game. Why, if you have 2 games per week, why you have to play 2 games in 48 hours? I don't know that. I really don't understand. Okay, in Ukrainian league I played, there is for 3 months you play in FIBA Cup, and Ukrainian league was the specific, there is 2 games per week, local league. So that's mean with international games you have 3 games per week. Yeah, then it's clear you cannot set the schedule like different way. But now that's for me surprise. But it's a brutal schedule. I mean, experience. I'm not talking about like kind of players. Okay, like I mentioned, one thing is the players not played in Euro Cup. They don't play in like let's say like kind of competitions. I'm not talking about Euro League, but even the Championship. Okay, some of the guys get experience from FIBA Cup, but I mean like, for example, 3rd week of the Euro Cup, I spoke with a few of the best players after the game. They said they don't feel the body. All of them look like gladiators, fighters, dude. They said they don't feel because they don't know after the games. And that's another thing. You have to go through to this, understand your body. You just can play good if you are in good physical shape, mental shape. Yeah. If something goes out from that, you cannot be good as possible. And that's the important. I said first 1.5 months will be crucial for us in the Euro Cup and Polish League. And that was exactly like I mentioned, but I mentioned that like few months before we start the season.
Ja mam takie poczucie, może trener mnie poprawi, na pewno może mieć trener inną wersję, ale moim zdaniem najważniejszym meczem było zwycięstwo w tym sezonie z Hamburgiem. Bo przegraliście 5 listopada, jak tak dobrze sprawdziłem, z Arisem, 8 listopada przegraliście ze Szczecinem i wie trener, jak ta praca w ogóle trenerów wygląda, jak w Śląsku były w przeszłości, że byłaby 3. porażka przykładowo z Hamburgiem i przyjeżdżała Legia. I to zwycięstwo było tak tak moim zdaniem takie troszkę przełomowe, że w ogóle ta drużyna taka zrobiła się pewna siebie po tym Hamburgu. Tak z mojej perspektywy, oprócz tego, że było dobrze to wyglądało, to takiego napędu dostała ta drużyna. Po tym meczu z Hamburgiem, bo i pokonaliście Legię zaraz i potem poszła taka seria dobrych zwycięstw.
Yes and no. Okay, we lost against Szczecin. One thing what I want to mention to you, we are still kind of competitive in Euro Cup and of course in PLK. Look, we missed the Sanon for a total for 6 weeks. We missed Nizol for 10 days. We missed Djordjevic for 10 days. We missed Penava for 3 weeks. And we are still fighting. You know, that's a question also, like previous question was about those young guys. There helps a lot those games, you know, because we could not survive in those games if we were choosing, again, I say just 5, 6, 7 players. Yeah. And about the Szczecin, we were dead physically. You know, there is them, for example, the game against Hamburg, is kind of agree, like that was really like more is the mental game. We pushed ourselves, we did. And you know, like how I see, and that's in all levels, in all leagues, you don't need to be motivated against, let's say, best team in the league. League is the best team in the league for that moment, best team in the last year, champions. So that's the best motivator, I think, to play hard against them. And we play really quality basketball. That's what I try to say. It's not always works, yeah, but it's the good decisions and offense and physicality. That's it, what we need in the defense. And those games, Hamburg, then Szczecin was not bad.
Szczecin wyglądał, już trener mówi o tym, że fizycznie wyglądali lepiej na świeższych, a wy tak byliście zmęczeni. No ale takie jest granie na dwóch frontach. A jak trener by ocenił wiek młodego zawodnika? Ile to jest młody zawodnik według trenera? Ile ma lat? Jak się mówi, o to jest młody zawodnik, to ile on ma lat? 20, 19, 23, 4?
You know, that's in I count. True to my experience when I played, I remember myself. I know physiology, how is our body is growing up, understand the pressure, all kind of things. And let's say like this, beginning you play basketball with the legs. Everybody from 17, 18 years, you're just running. You have a lot of energy, physicality. You're running. You don't know what you do, but you just do. Then is by years like coming like a little bit, you try to use your, let's say, understanding. If somebody asking him what is a good player, there is years ago, that's one of the Latvian basketball guru, Walters. He said it's most important is technical and physical abilities. I said, bullshit, sorry. I said, you have to know game understanding because there is a lot of people in the world, big, strong, they have like crazy technical abilities. They have physical abilities, and when they play 5 against 5, they disappear because they don't have simple game understanding. And then I'm usually count from the age to 25, 26, 27 is the coming like understanding, experience that's going. You became mature, not like a player, but also like a person. I think it's for you is also if you check that few years, like let's say 5 years ago, how you be like a person, you were different like it's not. Of course, yeah, that's normally because you have more understanding in the life things, and you became mature. And that is for like in also Lithuania they said, or somebody is like that balance when you play with the legs and with the head, this comes like 25, 26, 27. For somebody is that's level comes earlier, for somebody is later, for somebody is never.
To Kuba Urbaniak powinien być szczęśliwy, że ma trenera u siebie, bo tego stara się mu trener na pewno dużo pomóc. Bo on jest, jak na niego patrzę, on ma ciało, ma jak LeBron James. Jakbyś mu dał piłkę, 2-3 kozły, coast to coast, z góry by chciał. On po prostu cały czas energia, nie? A widzę, że coach...
You have to know how to use.
Spokojnie.
You have to know how to use this energy.
Dużo rozmawiacie ze sobą?
Yes.
Z nim
Yes, we're talking, we explain him. Coach Jacek explains him a lot because he knows him. They work together in under national team under 20, and I think he did now big improvement. But that's not enough because I count like generally for his like you see his body, his wish to play. He don't have like for a moment experience, let's say. Maybe also kind of understanding what to do in some situations. But you can learn that just through to the games. And for him, it's a good situation, perfect situation. You know, also it's important. I like how is the Nizo corporate with the young guys. He tried to explain them. He brings them somewhere, just talk, explain. Yeah, and I know that's job. You know, from the coaches. That job what we do in the practice. That job for experienced teammates like a Nizo. Yeah, it pays us back earlier, later, but it pays back anyway.
Trenerze, troszeczkę lat 90., zanim przejdziemy do kibiców, fajnie się rozmawia. Już zabawiamy 15 minut, co w zasadzie jest dobrym momentem, żebyście nacisnęli kciuk w górę i będzie konkurs. Zrobimy sobie konkurs, wytypujcie różnicę punktową. Kto wygra mecz świąteczny Śląsk Wrocław, Anwil Bosławek, w komentarzach możecie wytypować. Jeżeli chcesz mieć własne boisko do koszykówki i nowoczesne kosze do grania w basket, to wejdź na stronę www.hupencourt.com.
Hanna!
Nawadniaj swój organizm z izotonikiem Gaminate. Z kodem BCH masz 10% zniżki, który wykorzystasz na stronie www.gaminate.pro. Trenerze, ja dla trenera mam prezenty. Gdy trener, co to jest? Słyszał trener o Gaminate, to jest izotonik, nawodnie 13 witamin. Ale to jest super, no. To od razu bidon dla trenera. Czy trener był kiedyś w Hydropolis? Taka nauka o wodzie we Wrocławiu. Był coach?
Nie byłem, no ja wiem.
A chciałby coach pójść? A trener jest sam czy z rodziną tutaj?
Z drużyny.
Drużyna to będzie. A, dobra. To mamy dwa zaproszenia. Zapraszamy serdecznie od MPWiK. Zaproszenie do Hydropolis. Pij kranówkę, nasz hashtag. Pije trener wodę z kranu. Mamy takiego partnera. Pij kranówkę. Pije coach wodę z kranu, czy woda tylko? Od Muliego.
No to laps.
Tylko Muli. Tylko Muli. Lata 90. Bytom, Pruszków. Jak ta koszykówka wtedy wyglądała? Jak trener wspomina tamten czas, bo mamy wielu kibiców, którzy wtedy właśnie chodzili, jak trener jeszcze grał tutaj we Wrocławiu. Jak coach to pamięta ten czas?
To było bardzo dobrze ligi. Bardzo dobrze. That's all. Like I've said about league, that's really experience. Good player. There was a lot of former NBA players. Bradford Smith, for example, you know, the guy who's even mentioned in that Jordan movie, you know. And there was Stratanovic, former Yugoslavian national team player. But so many good players, so competitively, you know. And
To Sretenowicz, Zora. Jeszcze niestety nie żyje.
And that's just few names, you know. But league was very competitive, and you know, those years. It's also I will just send a message for let's say young guys now with those limitations, no limitations, passport problems. European passports you can play everywhere in Europe, and you are not the foreigner for most of the countries. Yeah, like there's a 5, 6, 7, whatever. In Spain, there is even the games when Spanish players don't play because play passports. Yeah. Those years was in a team was allowed to be used just 2 foreigners, you know, and that was you know, if you are going for some good leagues and you are one of those 2 foreigners, that's mean you are something. But my point is that you can see your, let's say, qualities, your level under real pressure. That's mean when you are out of comfort zone, just then. You are the coach or you are the player just then. And those years, you know, okay, I'm moving to the Poland. I was 31 years old. And everybody said in Latvia, like, you have to quit, you still have to play. Like, let's start the coach, those things. I said, yeah, just wait, you know, because every year, that what I mentioned before, I understood more my body. I got good studies in university, you know. I understand more that psychologically, physiologically. I know what I what is really my abilities. And really, when I started playing in Poland, actually, I was very happy. I was together with the national players like Bacik, Pluta, Šešňak, Kordian, Kovitek. Those guys was really high level players. Yeah, we met each other before in 1997 in European Championship in Spain. After that, Poland got big success for those years, and Leeds is also growing up. And next year I played together with them. We were successful. Let's say third place with Bitom, third place with Prushko. Of course, always for me, just I want to compete always for that one place. There is just one place in the top, and the rest of places is these places. Okay, we were good. Let's say not good enough. Those years, Scepter, Wrocław was much better. No, not much better. We beat them in each season once, but the champions but I have really like good memories about those years, about the players, about the clubs, about the coaches. Yeah, that's good time.
A miał trener propozycję ze Śląska Wrocław kiedyś jako zawodnik?
Willem Pop after the season in Bitom, I got interest, but my agent said it's better go to the Prushko. There is that's better. The coach, blah, blah, blah.
To jak było w Pruszkowie? Bo w Pruszkowie spotkał na przykład trener tutaj dobrze znanego Dominika Tomczyka. Kogo tam jeszcze coach spotkał?
There był Drija, Bacik, again, my good friend. Super. I was his driver. There was Jeffrey Stan. There was, of course, Dominic. Okay, Dominic, first part of the season was injured. Yeah, but it's also was good. We did a good kind of result. Walter Jeklin was, we just did not bad result. We were actually in that season only one team who beat Tau Keramika. Those years we played in Euro Cup. We beat Tau Keramika twice in Poland and there in Spain, and they became Spanish champions. I think with my experience, my basketball understanding like a coach now, we were a little bit like wrong way complicated because roster, because everybody was with their good shooting abilities. Everybody shoot well, and if we change that rhythm, we can destroy everyone. In a good against good teams, smart teams, that's not works because they know how to cover this thing. Creators, for example, year before in Upitom, I was the second scorer in the league with 26 points. And then in Prusko, I was best scorer also in a Prusko, but just with a 60. But I was also a lot of steals. That year, actually, I don't know what's changing in me. I know for my colleagues sometimes laughing. We are laughing at each other about kind of defensive things, shooting abilities, like blah, 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 like those. But I catch the feeling how to play in defense because I got Tyrus Walkout in the team, honestly. He said, Ainars, you have to play against that guy because I have to be staying there somewhere on half court, pass me balls, because in my contract, I need to score 10 points. I said, how is that possible? Score the 10 points. He said, if I don't score 10 points, they release me. Okay, that's, but we got really good group of the guys. We understand each other. Okay, bronze medals. We lost like 1-3 against Anvil because in those years was when Anvil played in home. That was for everybody like a sight. You lost. I said, why? Let's go there, fight. And the year before when I was in Vitom, we beat them there. But, that's what I say. Sometimes, that's not sometimes, most of them. What you think, what kind of information they put in your head, is this that way you're going to play or live or compete or whatever. And those years, nobody can beat Anvil in a home.
26 punktów średnio w sezonie, trener powiedziałeś, że zdobywałeś. Byłeś...
That was accident.
Ale to był average. Nie, to nie jest accident. I do czego zmierzam? Potem byłeś trenerem w Eurocupie, przy Eurolidze, trenerem kadr narodowych. Czy te 26 punktów i przy tej koszykówce jesteś do dzisiaj? Wtedy miałeś 26, to można by powiedzieć, że dzisiaj miałbyś o wiele, wiele więcej? Bo chciałbym, żebyś porównał troszkę koszykówkę wtedy z
Now is the basketball. It's really, sometimes, look, of course, I'm still mad on my players sometimes when we are not playing enough physical, very confusing. in those years, the basketball was like more, let's say, open, was not so physical. Of course, there is, everybody say there is a scouting, was, hey, close his right hand, left hand, that's it. There was no videos. We're just watching video like in a movie, in a silent. There is watching, clear, go. Now is the when you have like these programs, when the coaches goes deeper, analyze the players, analyze the teams, analyze the sets, you know. This goes totally different. I don't know I don't like actually compare. Was now is a different time, and not just in a basketball, in all sports. Look at NBA, there is still that everybody scored the points. Yeah, but then you see the defense. Everybody knows what is the Doncic do, what is the LeBron do, what is the Brown do. Everybody knows. But anyway, they scored the points.
No tak, koszykówka naprawdę się niesamowicie zmieniła, a te hale z lat 90. Powiedział trener Anwilu, że był ciężko grać. Jakie hale w Polsce były takie najtrudniejsze do grania? Może też najfajniejsze do grania, gdzie się fajnie grało?
To nie było do mnie, you know, there when I came to the Poland, I was really, especially next year after Pruszko, I'm moving to the French. I play in French league, I play in Dijon. You know, there is every practice, because those years French league was one of the probably the most physical league in Europe. You know, we got the 5th position end of the season. Every practice was like let's say like a small game. We really fight, because the French players is very physical. In the team was like a lot of foreigners. Yeah. And after those 2 years, like 3 years, 2 years in Poland, 1 year in, I find kind of different look on a basketball. Because, for example, that's everywhere. I was like till 31, I was in Latvia. For all the coaches, like how to say, like, if you miss 2 shots, oh, not your day. I said, fuck, is the NBA, they missed 10 in a row. And with my shooting abilities, I have to stay there, do like that. You know, I got like different look on the basketball, different taste of the basketball. You know, that's also, for example, in the French, always coach put me on a ball handlers, on a point guards. You know, I catch the feeling, and that was like all new, like, for me, something new, like, because there was a clear, you are the shooter, stay in the corner, run in a fast breaks, and that's it, and we pass you the ball, stay in the corner. I in Prushkov, after that in a French league, after that in Žalgiris League, I started to play like a point. You know, and I enjoyed that. You know, with my size kind of play. That's my suggestion always, if somebody is here, like players, for coaches, try to use the players in different positions. Because sometimes, for example, I want to say like, no, I think as the Cuban Israel goes now, that plays like best basketball in his life. Not because he got like minutes, points, whatever. Like before this, many coaches in the Poland think he can just play an on-ball defense, not in a ball handlers. I said, why? He has good legs. He takes the personal. He goes, he attack, and plus his size against smaller players, against ball handlers. Yeah, that's a good pressure. He can do that pressure. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, you need to meet the right person to go to take a different look on the basketball. How can you use it?
To bardzo jest ciekawe. A jakie jeszcze przykłady, co na przykład trener próbuje teraz w Śląsku Wrocław kogoś na przykład czegoś nowego nauczyć? Spróbuj tego, nigdy ci nie by.
Because in our roster we got our injuries. Yeah, we have
Przykład.
that was one thing. I like Nizo. Then we play like Urbaniak like a 3. You know, we play with the 3 bigs same time on a court. We have to look, but it's not like in I don't want to say like we have to do that all the time. I have to do like, depends of situation, depends against who we play, depends of needs, what the team needs. You know, and very important is the players understand that.
Trenerze, czy możemy już przejść moglibyśmy rozmawiać?
Jest boss.
Ja jestem boss, ale no, chciałem też zapytać o, muszę skończyć to, co mam na kartkach, o reprezentację, kadrę Ukrainy. Wygraliście 2 mecze teraz w kwalifikacjach. Jak w ogóle wygląda sytuacja? Pytam, jeśli chodzi o to, co się dzieje tutaj w Ukrainie, że jest wojna i tak dalej. Jak to wygląda technicznie, jak to trener organizuje, jak to federacja organizuje?
Let's say from beginning, when the war starts, almost 4 years ago, we got a qualification game against Spain in Spain. And that day when we got the game, war starts. Since that, we stay after that game. Somehow we finish that game. 1 week we stay in Spain, and then I suggest through to Latvian Basketball Federation. I said, let's go arrange the staying in Riga for some players, for the staff, for all those things. And then since that, we are generally with really big support from the Basketball Federation of Latvia. After that, of course, Ukrainian Basketball Federation, we just located in Riga, like home courts, all that practices before all the official games, not just for like senior national team, but for all ages. Latvia is a good place where to locate, find the spot and play the games. Because the women's national team, men's national team, home court in Riga. We play here. But that's that's since war starts.
No, celem jest Katar oczywiście, nie? Doha, Mistrzostwa Świata. Jak trener to widzi? Jesteście teraz na dobrej drodze, żeby awansować.
Okay, the first game against Georgia, we really did surprise. You know, like there is, of course, it's for me like a coach is really, maybe that sounds weird, but is for me, I see what we have to do to be successful. You've been the player, you know the situation. But then is the next and most important and most difficult, how is the team execute those things? How will be the day? You know, we start the game in a Georgia front of 10,000. Last game in a home for Shemardini. They are really, they play there to win. Years ago, one of my good friends there is a former player from Federation, now is working in Federation. He said, you never, because I was 8 years Latvian national team head coach, and he said, you never win here with the national teams. I said, well, let's see, my time comes, you know. And then we start really bad. There was even minus 16. But, you know, usually I'm counting for a game like game plan. The one type of defense and then second. You know, just how to change. And we actually, Georgia got the lead not because we were so bad in the defense, but we missed everything in offense. And then I needed some changes in the roster, some change the defense, and we kind of catch that rhythm. You know, and then it's a really we control third and fourth quarter, absolutely. There was no doubt. We could win even by 20 points, you know. And that was really a surprise. And there is, of course, Kohler play. Wow. You know, that Kohler, 32 points, you know, that game. And then it's the last game against Denmark. He scores almost 30 points just with the 30 minutes, you know, let's say. What is important, he got like very good decisions. You can score, you know, I like NBA, yeah, watching sometimes, but I cannot understand. If you are the leader of the team, every time when you touch the ball, you just throw the ball. You not shoot the ball, you throw the ball, and then 25 points. Then you check how many shots. 28, 29 shots. Come on, yeah. And they say very good game. That's bullshit. In Europe, that's impossible. You know, you see there is shot limitations for the best scorers because you are involved in teamwork. Yeah. And for me, it's always important as the players, you can shoot even 50 times if all those shots is good.
Chyba, że Tyrese Walker krzyczy.
And that's important for the team. And we got good group of the players. We did a good job. Of course, that's just first step, but we did the good step. And we send the messages we can do something. Because before, in the summertime, there was we missed for a national team 11 players. They're not just from Ukraine.
To dlaczego aż tylu?
Different reasons. You know, for everybody different reasons. I'm never complaining about the players. For me, just usually interesting. You play or not? I don't care about your reason. I'm not going to comment. For me, like a coach, to need to know why you are coming, you play or not, because anyway, I count. Playing for the national team. That's like some kind of taxes, what you can pay for your country. You know, now is okay. Now is Ukraine stands for us, because that's clear. If Russia win, The next will be the Poland, will be Baltic states like this, because you never know what's happening with Russia. With that kind of
To już wątki polityczne.
and now we have to support the Ukrainian, and there is, of course, I understood the players. Yeah, but for me, like a coach, is you coming or not? That's it for me. Important.
Jako ciekawostkę, już tutaj przechodząc powoli do pytań, w prekwalifikacjach graliście przeciwko byłemu trenerowi Śląska Wrocław, Oliwierowi Widinowi, bo też się z nim spotkaliście w prekwalifikacjach. Dobrze, jedziemy z pytaniami. Kuba pyta, czy był pan już w odwiedzinach na starych śmieciach w Bytomiu? Jeśli nie, to czy ma pan taki zamiar?
Nie.
Nie, ale może trzeba pojechać, czy nie?
Teraz nie ma czasu.
W Dąbrowie Górniczej byliście?
Nie. And hey, for me, if I tell you my schedule right now, I'm really happy I can wear something different as the sweatsuit, because maybe one day per week, and then for going to the games. And you are focused on just games. There is
Następne pytanie, jedziemy od Oskara. Jak panu idzie nauka języka polskiego?
Rozumiem. Teraz to oczywiście rozumiem, ty spytasz mnie po polsku, rozumiem, wszystko rozmawiam mniej po angielsku. Trzeba czasu.
Potrzeba czasu, to jakby trener, jakbyś mógł cały czas z szacunkiem, że trener to trener, ale jakbyś mógł powiedzieć po polsku, we Wrocławiu, co ci się podoba, gdzie lubisz pójść tak po polsku,
I like the old city.
ale po polsku. Spróbuj, chociaż
Teraz
dla kibiców.
potrzebuję rynek, idę do rynku, jaki mały cake, ciastka albo sernik, albo
Ale coś na słodko?
teraz nie pamiętam, słodko,
Jakie ciasto się nazywa?
like donut.
Pączek.
Pączek and cynamonka.
I kawa. Kawa musi być.
Flat white, dobrze, dobra kawa.
Obojętnie gdzie kawa. A jak macie meeting na Mieszczańskiej, to pewnie idziecie szybko tam
Nie.
za most.
Nie. Mamy trener, czy asystent bring
Kawa?
nie kawa. Kawa my mamy office, bardzo dobrze. Mamy, by the way, I want to say, like, really, let's, with my experience, I've been in a lot of clubs, like a player, like a coach. I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot of information. How is the clubs work? How is the clubs do the inside things, jobs? I know just, when I came here, you cannot imagine how much information I got. Yeah, but I'm really, really happy as I'm here for a moment, because the club really professional. Of course, from our side, like a team, coaches, players, we have to give the best. It's also one of the things is important. I think we have a best fans in PLK. Yeah, and we have their support. Yeah, but we have to pay them back with every game. There is no guarantees as we're going to win everything or win. Like usually I say, if there's some coach comes and says, I am going to beat everyone. With defense, I'm usually suggest to the clubs, sign that coach for the rest of the life. But just ask him, keep the promises.
Ja mogę ci powiedzieć, bo jako zawodnik na przykład w Śląsku, no to tylko widziałem kibiców na zewnątrz, gdzieś tam się wyszło, to kibice nas zaczepiali, ale jak skończyłem grać, stworzyłem taki projekt, gdzie kibice, amatorzy trenują w kosza. Normalnie tak jak ja miałem, czy moi koledzy. I mamy takie grupy na WhatsAppie. I no, naprawdę ciężko mi było uwierzyć, jak oni każdą informacją o Śląsku żyją. Że co, ten ma takie buty, ten ma taki, jako zawodnik ja tego nie wiedziałem. Bardzo kibice żyją i to jest niesamowite, że
How good was that? That was a good point what you touched. Age of 32, 33, I was a little bit like mentally, I think I'm ready to be the coach, because I also, when I was the player, I'm moving to coaching clinics. Okay, I was a player, but for me it was interesting how is the coaches goals arranging, I'm moving around, like I'm calling that I invest myself, I'm traveling around the world, to US, to Europe, some clinics for those 2-3 days, just check. And then is a guy who for sure, Jaroslav Ziskowski said, he said, forget play as much as possible as you enjoy it. And I would say because
You die.
then when you are going to be the coach or whatever, it's totally different. It's totally different emotions. And somehow, let's say like, because of he say like this, I said, okay, I'm going. I continue. And then I play more. And every year I play better and better and better, because like I mentioned, I understood basketball more. Not because I was better, because I was in good shape, okay. Always, but my understanding of the basketball was much higher as let's say like 5, 7, 10 years before. And for you is the same, I think. When you are the player, it's a one way. You have a routine, practice. Somehow you come to the practice, you try to do your best. And that's it. After that, you have a lot of free time. What does the coaches do? There is no way coach is working. Really, that sounds funny, but I have to say, I don't want to say like I'm working 24/7 because
22.
20, let's say, yeah. But a lot of routine, of course, preparing. There is assistants do their job. That's but you have to set all these things, and that's totally different job when you are like a player, like you are in a court or you are in this side of life.
Nie zrozumie tego zawodnik, ja też tego nie rozumiem. To czas potrzebny jest i jak się kończy granie, jak idziesz do pracy, musisz coś robić, zacząć myśleć, wtedy myśl, kurde, ten coach musiał cały czas pracować, on cały czas pracował. Muszę zadać pytanie, bo boję się, że mi umknie, a często jak robimy aktualności o polskiej lidze, mówimy o halach i o skuteczności. Do czego zmierzam? Czy nie uważasz, że nie jest problemem, że trenujecie na Mieszczańskich, oddajecie tam dużo rzutów, a i potem jedziecie na orbitę, gdzie jest zupełnie inaczej. I czasami myśmy
Potem jedziemy do hala stulecia.
i myśmy to kiedyś policzyli, to był, nie wiem, 2 lata temu. W orbicie była najgorsza skuteczność Śląska. Nie, Śląsk najgorzej rzucał w orbicie. I jeszcze spójnia Stargard kiedyś była. Czy ty widzisz, że to jest jakiś problem?
Probably I have to answer just in a case. That situation, I can fix that? No. So I have to focus on the things what I can change. I'm just trying to like care about things. Focus on the things what I can change. I cannot change.
Ja rozumiem, ale na przykład można...
Oczywiście mamy problem. Oczywiście it's the best way always play in one gym and practice in one gym and play the same gym. Yeah, that's no doubt. Plus it's not a kind of you being the player. Now, for example, in Euro Cup we play with one type of the basketballs. In PLK is a different type of the basketballs. That's also kind of different, But that's the things what we cannot influence.
Tak, ale czasami zastanawiam się, mogę zadać pytanie, czy, nie wiem, ile rzucacie, nie? Ale czy czasami masz takie coś, a nie będziemy rzucać na przykład 200 rzutów na kosz, bo i tak na inne kosze gramy.
We never shoot 200.
To powiedziałem 200 for example.
We have like daily shots what we do. I'm more in counting, and also when I played, I never shooted like 200, 300, 400 shots for a practice, even individual practice. Actually, when I played, when I understood myself, like from age of 20, 28, 29, after every practice or before the practice, I stay and make 100 shots or kind of some like, but I'm not waiting for like a lot of shots. Why I have to do? It's most important is your legs is good and most important your head is ready for sure. That's enough.
Trenowałem we Wrocławku z Plutą, byłem jego zmienić. Andrzej to chyba z 1000 oddawał rzutów Pluta, ale musiał. Ja te 200 rzutów podałem jako przykład, nie? Czy na przykład zamiast właśnie tracić czas na te rzuty, bo jest inna hala, na coś innego można ten czas przeznaczyć bardziej w tym kierunku.
I will see, for example, the practice. For example, we have tomorrow one practice and after tomorrow game. Yeah? In that one practice, most important, you have to don't give them too much work. Now is during the season, less is best, especially when you have 2 games per week. Now is 3 games per week. Now we have. Yeah.
Najlepiej.
No. Of course, everybody wants to play. But we have to cover there in that practice recovery, kind of physicality, a little bit preparing the legs, most important. Then is tactically preparing from the coach all information about the next opponent, and also individuals. And then little bit you have to play tactically. Maybe some details what you change for that game, defensively and offensive. You see how many things I said, and that's all we have to do in let's say in 1 hour, maximum 30 minutes, even less.
Nagrywamy czwartek, godzina jest 10:44. Ten odcinek poleci w poniedziałek o 18:30, czyli będziemy już po meczu w Ostrowie Wielkopolskim. Teraz tak jak opowiadasz o tych treningach, że jutro macie trening, przypomniałem sobie, jak to fajnie jest grać sobie w pucharach europejskich, ale jak to fajnie jest wygrywać jeszcze w tych, że wygrywasz pucharze, potem wygrywasz w lidze, wszystko jest, atmosfera jest dobra, to jest czysta przyjemność pracować w takiej atmosferze, nie? A to jest tak trudne, że jak wygrywasz, to wiadomo, super, a 1-2 mecze i kurde, już trzeba być czujny. Ale taki jest sport.
Taki jest sport.
Troszeczkę mamy, nie?
It's easy to say, but taki jest sport.
Taki jest sport. Cezary Drzazga, jaki epizod kariery miał największy wpływ na pańską filozofię trenerską? Kto? Jako trener cię? Nikt? Żaden trener? Nie? Czyli sam chciałeś być trenerem, jesteś trenerem po swojemu.
You know, that's for me, till age of 20, 29, 27, no, 28. You know, that's what I asking to you. When you are the player, you have 1 or 2 practices, sometimes you have a games, and that's it. Rest of the time you are free. I never count as I'm working. I'm always count I got hobby. Sometimes they pay me for that hobby, sometimes not. As you know, that there's just 10 months, they pay you, but you sometimes pay, sometimes not. And then I asking to myself what to do, what can be like good for me. And that is, let's go start to university. And I went to the university, I was 28 or 29 years old. I can imagine in first grade, there was with me like guys after high school. And 3 years in a row, I did like early in the morning, 7 o'clock, I moved to the gym. I did my shots. I bring the one student. I pay him a little bit. Then I moved to the lectures. And every morning for 3 years, I was in the first 3 lectures. And then I moved to rest, lunch, second practice. Same time we play in Aero Cup. And that time we play in, of course, national team. Yeah, but in 3 years, I live like this. Because that university, that knowledge is psychology, physiology.
A co studiowałeś?
Understanding first was the sport, yeah, like a coaching, but you have to through till that sport, and then I finished that my behavior, yeah, and then say let's go to the master, and next 2 years I finished the master, and then I moved to doctor.
Doktor.
I moved to the doctor, but that's impossible, and then I get like how to say and take it out my papers from university. So I'm kind of
To szacunek.
yeah, I'm kind of educated. Sorry, but that's how much it helps to me. That's I'm really happy. Yes, I did.
Naprawdę, tym bardziej, że to 28 lat, nie od razu. Nie wszyscy, większość mówi, że nie chce.
That's what I'm usually say to the players. You cannot be when you are the young. You have you're front of everybody. You play in a good gyms, not bad paid for your hobby. Yeah, you are famous. Yeah, but your life understanding is the, let's say, like for kids.
Ja teraz dzisiaj mogę powiedzieć, że marnowałem czas w domu. Siedziałem 3 godziny, grałem w gry, coś tam. To jest strata czasu.
Then you find the interest somewhere, what to do. Invest in yourself, like time. I don't know, reading. I like it. By the way, I like to read. Years ago, I reading every book what I got. I like to read. Then is you learn. You take something for yourself. But I think that's like you waste the time if you play just computer games, just basketball. You have to find something else in life. What to do? Go to the fights. I really regret the one thing. And when I quit from the basketball, I start little bit boxing. Thanks to that's Kaspar Skambala. He just moved to the boxing. I was in a few practices with him. I saw that in the US, and I like it. And I'm really regret that I didn't that earlier. I suggest to some Latvian national team players, I said in the summertime, take lessons 2 times per week, because for that physicality, for that reaction, for that footwork, what you do there, it's excellent. And some players using it. In Ukrainian national team players using it. You have to I want to see how you step over yourself if you go there. with professional boxer. A little bit.
Ja
You
teraz
have to step over
wie
yourself.
trener, że teraz
I did that in Ukraine. I did that.
macie akcję marketingową idealną we Wrocławiu. No, to jakoś będzie dobra przerwa, zaprosisz kogoś, żeby trening bokserski przeprowadzić.
In preseason, yes. Preseason, I like sometimes. This year I didn't so much because the new team, totally new players. You know, for example, the next year I do the different.
Zumba i boks.
What
Or zumba or boks.
you can see in YouTube, in the national team, Latvia national team, we went on the classes. All the players, even the Porzingis. For me, without any preparation, you put here is that I'm going there immediately. I put sometimes once a year that I put in my team. I'm not going to say where I said, guys, it's your choice. And both choices, you go, you walk, or you not walk is your choice. Both of them is good. You know, just half of the team and nobody from coaches did. I did the first, you know. I'm walking those cocks and that like, I don't know how to say it. After firework, there is
Drabidnie.
okay, no, not important, but we get like really in the Latvian national team crazy stuff, and we did like these things all together. We did.
To ciekawe, to bardzo ciekawe. Widzicie, jaki załatwiłem prezent pod choinkę trenera Bagatskisa dla kibiców Śląska Wrocław, dla kibiców z Polski, no bo w Polsce też nas oglądają. Michał, w jaki sposób radzisz sobie ze stresem i emocjami po meczu?
You know, that's like probably I have to daily routine. It's good or bad. Anyway, after that game, you need, let's say, a few hours to calm down. You know, but there is not like one thing what I do. I'm not drinking a lot. There is sometimes or not at all not drinking. Maybe some glass of wine or prosecco, but just read something. Watch some stupid things in internet. You know, just like this. Take my mind somewhere.
A po meczu robisz jakąś odprawę, czy po prostu po meczu jest finish?
Po meczu jest finish.
Nic nie mówisz po meczu.
Tylko usually you going sleep, like for example yesterday, I went sleep like after 1 o'clock. It's okay. And 4 o'clock you wake up, eyes like this, and you remote things from the game all the time. That doesn't matter. That's good or bad games. When I became the coach, one of the Latvian previous, my good teammate, also Latvian national team coach, he said, welcome to the Unsleep at Nights club when you became the coach. Because that's exactly what I mentioned to you. When you are the player, you did good, bad, you try at least. And of course, coach, dumb motherfucker, don't know anything, and let's forget. And then you won that or not, with the head you understand why you lost or why you win, what's happening there is your body says, no, let's little bit sleep and then think again, you know, because that all those
To wszystko. A jak długo nieprzerwanie jesteś trenerem? Bo to też, czy poczułeś kiedyś tak, że rok czy 2 lata?
First 5 years was like terrible. You not sleep at all. The first 5 years, but now I'm coach for 20 years.
And now it's year by year.
Now is a better, of course, because it for me is the clear what happening on the team, the reasons. After that, when you talk with the coaches after the game, with the assistants, you just read the situation, you analyze the situation. Is the clear the reason? No, that's like a snowball. One stupid thing goes like develops another, or opposite way. Good actions develop good.
Rozmawiałem parę dni temu z trenerem Kamińskim, trenerem z Lublina, który jest doświadczonym trenerem. Pół roku temu grał w finale z Legią, a teraz mają 7 porażek z rzędu i rozmawialiśmy, jak sobie radzi z tym wszystkim, że nadal jest, widzę, że...
Wojciech was my coach when I was in Bruszku.
Tak, ale head coach?
No.
Assistant coach, no tak. I więc on sobie już z tym radzi, bo jest doświadczony, ale to tak dla młodych trenerów to musi być trudne pierwszy raz.
Bardzo. It's not easy time for the coaches, but that's what I mentioned. You just can be like really better at least or good if you know how to react or what to do in this like kind of situations. And when you go through to these situations, because that's mean like totally for this like in that situation, they are out of comfort zone. They have to react. Club has to react. Coach has to react. And then let's see how is the team respond on this situation.
A jaką byś miał radę dla młodych trenerów?
No, don't copy others, because that's look for our own way. Because I know the coaches, of course, in that sport you see the system. It's for me, it's always when I'm watching how is the teams play. Of course, all of us looking different, all of us. Spectators like this, coaches like this, referees like that, whatever. Owners like this, like different way. I'm always looking like, for me, like that from the coach point. How is the coach idea there in a team? Or they just go, play. I see that those things like consistency. Consistency is very important, especially in defense, how the team do. You cannot play like, for example, you cannot be successful if every time is different kind of defense, or you are improvise, or players improvise, and you let them go. And the last thing, how is the coach control the team? Because I know the coach is who stays like, you don't replace, I'm the best one, and don't even ask me something. Yeah, for me it's clear, I know everything. Oh, they're just players, motherfuckers. Yeah. There is different type of coaches in this world.
That's
People, and that's, I say that how is the coach control them? You can see that idea and that consistency. If you see these things, okay, because I like the very much repeat David Blatt. You know, David is a good friend of mine. I was his assistant for 4 months, you know. And the one thing, and when you're working like this with the David, you know why he's successful. Because for my opinion, there is no best coach. There is no, everybody is coaches. There is just some coaches is successful and some of them more successful, let's say. Yeah. You never know for what the reasons. You know, I know why actually the reasons with my experience. But David said is the most important is the system. There is no bad systems. You have a system and you strictly follow to that system. A worst will be for a coach if you start to hesitate. Fuck, I lost the points. I have to change. I have to change something. That's part of the basketball. Opponents also prepared. Opponents also going to be ready. Yeah, depends of the talent, depends of the day. Is the game, is it like built like this?
A jako ludzie, jako człowiek, gdzie jest granica trener, zawodnik? Jesteś bardziej tatą? Trzeba być pomiędzy pewnie, nie? Czy szefem? Tato, jak to jest?
Jestem wszystko.
No bo dobry trener musi taki być. Tak mi się wydaje, że to musi być, komu ufasz i oddasz mu serce.
You see, I think it's important. You see, there is especially in Europe, it's not important. There is the most of successful coaches in Europe is that they are not being the basketball players. They just know the basketball from the books. You know, that's true. Obradovic, Ivanovic, Lasso, from early coaches. Okay, another Obradovic, Desikavicius, they being the players. All other is they knows the basketball, you know, because they're coming from they have educated very well, like tactical way. They knows languages, of course, and it's important they have nationalities because most of those coaches, they're coming from the good basketball leagues. It's very difficult from the leagues, like let's say, like from the Polish league for Polish coach, from Latvian league, Latvian coach, even from Lithuania, going somewhere. Because the one reason, when you became the coach, you're working in a good league with the good players, and you get that experience through to this good competition systems, good clubs, good leagues. And then is for Italian, Serbian, Spanish coaches, for them is easier, let's say, to become like really good coaches, you know. And but it's the most important for a coach just learn. You cannot stay oh, now I'm good, I don't need to do anything. Every day I have 30 minutes, I'm watching some clinics, some lectures, some things about basketball, what is interesting for me. Every day I'm going daily routine, I invest myself. And you see this, just those details. Everybody plays, head, horns, move like this, everybody says something like it. But why is some coaches is more successful as the others? Take attention on the details. I like Massimo said like this, that everybody do something, details. Take attention on details.
Przypomniało mi się teraz, no, może moglibyśmy z 3 godziny gadać, ale rozmawiałem z trenerem Kamińskim, a mamy jeszcze 30 minut. Trener Kamiński mi powiedział, że taką anegdotę, że kiedyś mu się przyśniło, że musi jednego zawodnika wpuścić na ostatnią akcję i on to zrobił. I to się udało. Masz takie coś, że coś ci się śni?
I remember I was in Germany, we play an Euro Cup game, And for me, like in the morning when I wake up, we need to play that set like 3 times in a row. We play 3 times, we get 7 points. You know, that's not because sometimes you play those sets kind of, it depends on situation. No, that's signed, you know, you have, that's important. I did in my life, I kind of sometimes looks like from the side like crazy decisions. But I trust my instinct. Of course, I pay back also that some of them was not good, but generally I count always you are in a place where you're supposed to be. Nothing in this life is like accidentally, yeah. If you are in that place, like saying you are in right time, right place. No, you are always in right place, yeah. And trust your instincts. If there's something happening, I like. There is sometimes I'm calling that, and also in this season was the game went like wrong way, like this, and we put like I'm calling mystery lineup. Those guys don't play together like in a practice. Mystery, really. You put them together, and that works. But that's normally that can work for a short time. 3-4 minutes and immediately change, immediately stay like you plan it, you know? But that's works.
A chłopaki to luzo, tak? Oni im się to podoba.
I think it's all the players, all the good players is gamblers. They like to they like, and that's the make different for sure. I know that I'm following for all kind of basketball levels, coaches. That makes a difference between the guys who is the beginning of this business, who be the players. They're like kind of like a risk, you know, and they feel that game a little bit different way as the other coaches. Yeah, that said something they are better. No, we are different. There is no bad coaches in the world. We are different.
Dobrze, przyspieszamy z pytaniami. Michał dalej pyta o Kirkuda. Czy jesteś zaskoczony, że tak dobrze grano? Rzeczywiście super zawodnik. Świetnie się prezentuje.
And bardzo dobrze jest zawodnik and bardzo dobrze chłopiec.
On chyba
Polski, professional from
po Harvardzie chyba jest, nie? On po jakiejś dobrej uczelni jest. Jakim on uczelni?
Harvard.
Harvard?
Harvard, he got a shirt in Harvard. It's too smart, but he play good.
Harvard nie, bo... Dobrze, Arkadiusz Rafał Kopecki, w którym z aktualnych graczy Śląska widzi trener siebie z czasów, gdy był zawodnikiem? Pod względem umiejętności i charakteru, temperamentu boiskowego.
That's the point, is the how I see myself on comparing like a player and coach. Jeszcze jedno raz to pytanie.
Którym z aktualnych graczy Śląska, czyli tych, co masz teraz zawodników, widzisz tak, jak ty grałeś?
Oh, I think so. He's like kind of little bit crazy on the court. You know, he wants to win very much. Yeah, wants to very much. And for me, when I played, I was like, let's say all of us is different, but he's similar. He's also a little bit crazy.
Nawet kibice zauważyli na tych grupach, o których ja przynajmniej mówiłem na WhatsAppie, zauważyli jego zmianę taką mentalną, że on się zmienił jako mężczyzna, jeśli chodzi o podejście do gry. Krzysztof Barc, co dalej z Jared Coleman Jones? Co z nim dalej?
Teraz nie wiem. He's good guy. He's very competitive guy. He's very good attitude, practicing a lot. But for a moment, it's my decision. He's not going to play because he's a bad. But I count. I'm not going to split those, let's say, like 15, 17 minutes for that position for one guy, another guy. Better play one guy. Now I put those minutes on Penala. Bad, good, that's my decision. And that's also asking do like this, yeah. But he's a good guy, and for sure he will receive his second book.
Michał Sokowicz zawsze zadaje to samo pytanie. Ile pan zarabia?
Nic, I have a hobby.
Zero, hobby. Wspaniałe hobby. Żeby tylko było na pączki i tam.
Kawa. Pączek i kawa.
Tutaj jest sporo pytań, z czego wynika, od Grzegorza Leszczyńskiego, wynika wychodzenie na drugie połowy praktycznie zawsze inną piątką niż startowa. Czy to ciekawe cały?
No.
Jakby to tutaj powiedział?
There is everything is under control, let's say like this. There is some games we start with the same starting lineup. I don't like going like strictly with one lineup. You see, sometimes I change. You know, this depends. Everything depends from the opponents, from the situation, from the fouls, from the needs, what team need in that moment.
Pytanie jest też skoro to jest pod kontrolą, o minuty. Czy podział minut gry kluczowych zawodników jest planowany przed meczem, czy wychodzi w trakcie meczu?
Players knows. I'm going to say like I don't like that, but I'm going to say I'm going limited their minutes. Yeah, because especially when you play those 2 games per week, sometimes I do like this most of the time, like in this season. But some games, when especially after the game we have off or we have a time to rest, there is no limitations.
No ostatnie może od pana Grzegorza. Czy ma trener czasem jeszcze ochotę wyjść na parkiet? Chodzi o mecze i pokazać, jak to się powinno robić. Masz czasami taką
No, like usually, I can show some things. I can show with the ball, but just important is don't move so far, yeah. And I can shoot. I need to focus. I can shoot like but without any movements. I can stay and shoot. You know that's can I. If I focus, if I became mad on somebody.
A robicie konkursy czasami, tak?
Robimy konkursy z polowej
Tylko to.
na pieniądze.
Jaka jest stawka w Ekstraklasie?
To jest od 50 do 200 złotych.
A to dobrze, bo już myślałem, że dwoje.
I lost a few times in a row and it's very painful because in our team some guy shoots very well from half.
Kto na przykład?
And he's all Urban Exano.
Czyli cały czas keszują.
And they're like I mentioned, they're gamblers. They want to play. They want to compete.
Tak powinno być w sporcie. Antoni, czy jesteś zadowolony z dotychczasowej dyspozycji naszego generała, o którego, co by nie mówić, mocno zabyło? Chodzi o Greja, rozumiem. Tak, o kadrę Greja. Tak, czy myśli, że kadrę może wejść w trakcie sezonu jeszcze na wyższy poziom? Ja zanim odpowiesz na to pytanie, ja czytam, że trochę kibice narzekają, że jest taki i taki. Ja tak patrzę, to jest jeden z niewielu chłopaków, który potrafi minąć, potrafi zdobyć punkty w trudnych momentach. On taki jest. Może przez to, że nie jest wysoki, nie potrafi dać skipasa do cornera. No bo może po prostu nie ma sajby. Po prostu. Ale tak to jest gość naprawdę.
For him is a lot of new informations in this situation. Of course, he is the main point guard. A lot of time he play with the basketball. He decide his decisions. Of course, sometimes those decisions supposed to be better, but he is not like typical point guard. He's a good guy, very professional, and I think he helps also for a team, and he helps for some other players to become better. Of course, there is game situations. All of us to be what we want. Like here in Wrocław, everybody for sure remember Raymond.
No, wszyscy by chcieli,
Raymond is that's what I mentioned. All the coaches is different, all the players is different. Yeah, with their talent, with abilities. Yeah, and he's not that type of the like kind of passing point, typical point. Now is in modern basketball, most of the times you need from the player like few things, not just one thing.
Jak on schodzi, no to też fajnie, nie wiem jak to na pewno twoja zasługa jest, ale fajnie też gra wygląda, jak Sanon się wymienia z Kirkwoodem, też fajnie, oni są wysocy, zupełnie inne opcje się otwierają, jest to.
Sanon is the really like let's say like in game changer. That's you like that or not, but he's don't hesitate. He comes from the bench. He likes to come from the bench. Of course, he wants to play more, yeah, but that's my decision. And he's enjoyed the time, and he's not hesitating. He just attacks.
Trzymasz go na
Well,
placu.
just let's say honestly, like now he knows that. Just in last year, he became professional. You know, before he was the really wild, aggressive, very talented player. You know, and now he has to more invest on himself, on a body, develop extra practices, extra shooting drills, and the last summers he do like this, and that pays him back now.
A w Polsce to się mówi, że wygląda po prostu jak koń, nie? Że jest tak krzywy i tak dalej. Ja jestem ciekawy, z kim on na przykład, nie wiem, jak się kryją w gierkach 5-5 na treningu, z kim on się kryje? Czy jest jakiś zawodnik, który na przykład może skorzystać na tym?
He is that guy who's really wants to practice and compete. He just takes, for example, you can check that 2 years ago, Sanon is all the time competitive. He's a very loud and all the time is aggressive on the court. He wants to play. He don't want to like too much do the different things, but he wants to play. And for example, we play like 2 years ago, European Championship against Greece against Antetokounmpo. He jumps on Antetokounmpo like crazy. He said, "Come on!" And he scores over 20 points. He just using the bad words against bench, against coach, against everybody. He said, "I'm going to kick your ass."
Ale to jest charakter sportowca.
No, it's really hard. He has to control, of course, the emotions, focusing more on the things what his team and him need, not on the nice things around the game. Yeah, but he's a player.
Jedziemy dalej. Piotr Herbinger, jak pan postrzega zmiany na przestrzeni lat w polskiej koszykówce klubowej i reprezentacyjnej? Plusy, minusy?
Oh, that's not, I don't see actually too many minuses. That's because, for example, the last window after the last game, team deserved 3-day offs. When I moved to there for the national and comeback team was 3 days without me, like real 3 practice days. But my assistants really in good way covered all those things. The working assistant, they knows what to do. And there is just maybe that's worst thing is the coach jest zmęczony. To jest najduży problem. Troszeczkę mniej. Otherwise there is no any problem.
Piotrze, musimy jechać dalej z pytaniem, masz ich sporo. Masz Facebooka? Może ci kogoś może odpiszę na te pytania. Na sam koniec jest: dziękuję za dobrą robotę, trenerze, bo taki Śląsk naprawdę miło się ogląda.
Thank you. That's very important. I just want to say, for me, like a coach, I have to build the team, competitive team who is fight. There is no wins without the losses, and especially from beginning of the season. Now, if comparing, we are different. I think we are better team. Like we know each other, we feel each other better, but there is no limit. And I think February, then we will be like really stable, because now we are still not stable. We are exciting. We know how to play. We still don't know how to, let's say, maybe win. Really say like to win the games with some emotions, with decisions like this, and we have to learn that better. But it's very important.
To od razu zapytam, skąd pomysł na zbudowanie młodego składu? Ty chciałeś mieć młody zespół, czy taki się po prostu samo zrobił?
Okay. Now we have Nunes is only one guy in the team who got over 30 years. Before, I never got in my life the team where is no players 30 years or more years old.
Michał Głowaczewski, krążyły niedawno plotki, że jest pan rozpatrywany jako potencjalny trener kadry Korei Południowej. To
It's there.
pomidor, czyli to, też można to naciskać. Paweł Pietkun, którego gracza z czasów jego gry w Polsce wziąłbyś w ciemno do obecnego składu Śląska i dlaczego akurat tego? Jakiego zawodnika, z którym grałeś, wziąłbyś dzisiaj do Śląska?
Z którym grałem?
Tak, z którym grałeś, no, swoich czasów w Polsce. Jednego możesz wybrać. Bacik. Super Mario. A czy Super Mario jest taki trochę urbaniakowy?
How to say, I think if you're asking Mario now what he regret, I think he's going to regret some things when he was the player. And first is the attitude, because my opinion is the hell of a talent. With his size, his ball handling, his court vision. With his size, when his position, he was the best assister in the league. And I think all of us regret some of the things what we did or didn't, years ago. But Bacik in years ago was hell of a talent.
Zachęcamy, żeby zobaczyć sobie rozmowę w Polonezie z Mariuszem Bacikiem. Rok temu pisałem do Mariusza, weź mi powiedz, o co zapytać Ainarsa, co jakąś ciekawą rzecz. Jak sobie przypomnę, to ci napiszę. Niestety nie napisał. Nie? To może dobrze.
He build a new team.
Walczą, kurczę, w Bytomiu. Artur Bałdys, jaki jest cel Śląska w obecnym sezonie? Mistrzostwo Polski. To dobrze. Nie ma innego. Sebastian Wieczorek, czy widzi szansę na większą ilość minut dla Sternickiego?
There is a lot of questions like this. He's, I think, in a good place for him. He practicing, like I mentioned, he got 5 steps in professional basketball. with the very good teammates, with experienced teammates, with experience more as him teammates. I think he has a very good coaching staff, and everything is coming. Time like that's patient. He's working in West. He goes extra. For example, today in the morning, he went the first. He called the coaches. He went for individuals. Is the very good professional attitude. But he just did the first steps in his professional life.
A czy ty uważasz, to tak zapytam, może będzie ci ciężko odpowiedzieć, bo nie wypada, ale czy on nie powinien jednak, żeby się rozwijać, grać? Czy to jest taki epizod dla niego? Czy on jednak powinien grać w tym wieku? Trudno.
No będzie grać, no, mniej, więcej, no będzie grać.
Okay.
You see that. Spectators has one opinion, coaches another one, players third one, owners fourth one, like these opinions, but he's in the right place and he knows that. He knows that he receives his minutes.
Odpowiem trochę na obronę trenera, że nie jesteśmy na treningu, nie widzimy wszystkiego, więc trener wie najlepiej. Jak słyszycie, dostanie minut.
Zawsze.
O co chodzi? Maciej Milewicz pyta, don't say anything podczas timeoutów. Nie wiem, czy tak coach mówi, don't say anything, czy don't show anything. Jest takie coś, czy nie? Czy to jest...
No, that's if somebody tried to look for excuses or something in a timeouts or something. Maybe I don't remember. I say a lot in the timeouts.
Roch Chowalski to już odpowiedział trener, że sam się kształtował jako trener. Mirosław Kilian pyta z kolei, czy chciałbyś zostać na kolejny sezon.
Why not?
Jan Kowalski, co motywowało trenera, żeby w meczu z Manresą uciąć w drugiej połowie minuty Stefana i Yusufa, którzy w pierwszej połowie oddawali jakość i jak uzasadni decyzję o tak długim trzymaniu Nuneza, który w drugiej połowie nie dał choćby części tej jakości?
I'm just going answer about Yusuf and Stefan. Stefan got his minutes. He did something, didn't, and that was the reason we started playing switching defense, and that's not his best defense. And Yusuf that was a first game, first minutes after 5 weeks. And there was clear we're going to limited minutes. He plays 11. He's going to play 11 minutes and that's it.
Kolejne pytanie. Może przypomniałeś sobie coś. Zostało 12 minut. Jan Kowalski, Rafał Dziedzic. O tych bobrach Bytom. Jakąś anegdotę, masz historię śmieszną. Coś takiego, co dzisiaj...
No, I remember there was there is no anecdote. I like that. Actually, I like that. How is the club working then? We were, I think, professional. Good team, good guys, really good group of guys. Just one thing, maybe, when there was a manager, Andrzej, and always when you're asking, you need something for apartment, whatever, car, equipment, he's always said, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, and then we calling him, maybe tomorrow. Hey, maybe tomorrow, come. I said, maybe tomorrow. Always was answering, maybe tomorrow.
Like with the money, next month, last month.
Sometime, no. That was not typical for those years in Poland. The club was very professional, they paid.
Maciej Prokopowicz, bardzo dużo pytań. Widzisz się w autobusie, to może napiszesz, ale jedno pytanie. Którzy zawodnicy mają rezerwy i jak duże są? Czyli kto ma rezerwy, czyli potential.
Everybody. There is no limit. There is no limit for age. Just if you have a patient and you must
And you
have to do your job and you have to believe, of course. Yeah. You had to do your job. You had to go for individuals. You had to go for extra shots, extra workouts. And later, sooner, the job pays you back 100%. Of course, if you get the patient and if you invest in yourself, you don't need to be upset about the result if you didn't the job for that result. Yeah, but you have to work patient, because actually there is a lot of things how to become better for a player. And we have really a good group of big guys. And I want to say, also, not just in professionals, but like a persons. You cannot be successful if you not enjoy that time together. you've been in the teams. You know, there is a, if you come in a practice and say, fuck again, that motherfuckers, those, but no team not will be successful. Maybe you spend the time together, but not successful. If you enjoy, you fight. I was in the teams like a coach, like a players fight between each other, really in a bad way, kind of yelling and blah blah, and then they stay together and then we, you know, because that's together we can. There is no way in separate way. And I want to repeat the words what I said for the team like few days ago. In a team we need 12 winners, not the one hero.
And sometimes you say on the press conferences, we need sometimes more motherfuckers.
No, for sure. Sometimes you're really so good guys. So it's not soft. We are so guys, you know, that we are like nice persons, nice guys, yeah. But when you step on a court, you must be bad guy. Let's say like better way like this. You must be aggressive.
To kto jest największy motherfucker? U ciebie w Trudzie nie powiem. Ja coś czuję, że to może mieć Sanon, który cały czas sam prowokuje na treningach, podkręca.
That's exactly, you have to provocate. That's gambling. Enjoy the basketball. Come on, we're not that working. People working, people like went in a war, they fighting, yeah. We have been playing basketball. But we have to do that aggressive way. That's all what I want.
Michał, ostatnie pytanie. Czy rozważasz jeszcze wzmocnienia w tym sezonie? Czy jeszcze będą jakieś transfery, wzmocnienia?
So to say, you never know.
Czas pokaże. Słuchaj, mamy to za sobą. Praktycznie wszystko. Dziękujemy kibicom, którzy tutaj nam poświęcili czas. Nie odpowiedzieliśmy na wszystkie pytania, ale z rozmowy myślę, że wiele wyniknęło i dziękujemy wam za czujność. Na sam koniec, jakbyś mógł tak tą naszą ligę polską powiedzieć, kto to jest mocny, kto cię zaskoczył, tak, takich aktualności. Wam miło trenera.
It's the Polish league is very competitive league. It was competitive league. Yeah, of course, I wish the more teams play in Euro competitions. But it's a good like we play in Euro Cup last year. Sopot play in Euro Cup. Wrocław play in Champions League, and as more is the players, teams playing at this level, the more good players come to the league because league is really competitive.
To ten przepis jest dobry twoim zdaniem, że nie ma tego Polaka, obowiązku Polaka, że musi grać, że musi być na parkiecie Polak. Dobry czy polski?
I think for a Polish basketball, you know, that's anyway. Probably I'm going to answer like I answered in last year in Romania, before in Germany. You know, for this question is all the clubs. I know the many clubs in Poland. They will be happy if they got Polish players and they going in West. First of all, depends on the player. He wants to come. You cannot win anything big, maybe except some games, if you have just foreigners. And all the clubs want to develop Polish players. And players has to understand. I understood that in the age of 27. Around you, if you, in the practices, you are going to compete with a bigger talent, better, let's say, talent, let's say like bigger physicality, you are growing up like a player. Much faster. There was for me, it's a good example. Years ago, one of the Latvian best point guards. He was the 21-year-old kid. In advanced spells, he was like a second point guard. And then in that year, the team brings like 5 Americans. And in February, they decide to release the American because the Latvian guy became the first point guard. Like when you start to compete, really compete, don't care about. Because normally I count. I'm like a coach and I'm not going to different way. You have to use to be successful 10, 11 players. That's a team. Of course, there is some spot for the young guys who just start the first steps for the practices, maybe, let's say. But generally, if you want to be successful, you want to win more as the 1 or 2 games, you have to use those. You know, and the Polish players, I like mentally Polish players, they are fighters. They are fighters. Just sometimes you need the patience. Of course, okay, I was in player shoes. You've been in the player shoes. Of course, what the players want. Unlimited minutes, coach, don't touch me, play. No, come on. Look in EuroLeague. For me, EuroLeague, Also Euro Cup, you know, that's you have to fight for the minutes, and there is a coach is trying to involve those 10-11 players in it.
4 minuty niecałe. Mam 2 pytania jeszcze. Teraz jest taka tendencja, że wracają zawodnicy z emerytury. 40-letni. Ja na przykład 2 lata temu wróciłem, żeby pomóc nam z drugiej ligi awansować do pierwszej. Udało się. Teraz na przykład Paweł Lończyk prawdopodobnie wróci do Kołobrzegu. Czy to nie jest twoim zdaniem, do czego zmierzam, czy to nie jest tak, że ta ekstraklasa troszkę jest za dużo tych drużyn, że może powinna być mniej drużyn, bo poziom zawodników, który nie jest tak...
You never know. You never
Jakie
know
masz
how it
nadzieję?
is. First, I'm going to say it's business. It's been
Okay.
let's say honest. business.
Ale from the sports standpoint.
Sport and business is always connected.
Dyplomata nie odpowie.
No, there is
Dobrze, my sobie to z PJ-em przeogarniemy przy okazji pierwszoligowego odcinka, ale rzeczywiście mam wrażenie, że tak o 2 drużyny za dużo. Ostatnie do rodziców, jak rodzice nas słuchają, bo na pewno będą nas słuchać, ja też jestem rodzicem. Od kiedy się powiedzmy poważna koszykówka zaczyna dla młodego chłopca? Ile taki chłopiec, jak już coś chce zrobić, powinien już się wziąć na poważnie za koszykówkę?
you know,
Jest coś takiego?
I know the many examples, and I'm not in that type of guy who counts like, let's say, 4, 5, 6 years start basketball. Basketball supposed to be one of the sports. I think most important is the track and field, develop the body. I think it's very good sport for the kids is like a judo or kind of fights, because you develop the body, you play. And then is like maybe a few times per week you go for a basketball, but it's not play basketball. You play games through to the basketball. Games, I mean, like you're playing, no, not a basketball game, but with the basketball you play. And then in the age of 11, 12, 13, you can see the body is developed, because the basketball is very asymmetric sport. You know, that's for my opinion. If those now is for example, in Latvia, in many basketball schools, there is a physical trainer. But still, the basketball players is running, they are like, let's say, wrong way, heavy way, funny way. And I said, if you teach them how to right way run, that will be 50% of success. 50% of success, you know. And that's why I say you have to go and put the kids like in different sports. I know I'm going, if I got a hat, I take front of all the parents. And I know what that mean, like bring the kid to one practice, second practice, school. Like this, there is no day off, no Sundays, Saturdays, Sundays, because there is a games. But you have to invest in the time with the kids. Especially they became healthy, they develop body, and then move a little bit to the basketball.
Lepiej to niż przed komputerem siedzieć na pewno. A wiesz teraz, że wszyscy rodzice, kibice Śląska Wrocław na judo, wszyscy zapiszą teraz, dzieci swoje pójdą z ciebie. Ainars Bagatskis był naszym gościem, trenerze. Bardzo dziękuję, super rozmowa. Życzę powodzenia, dużo zdrowia, szczęścia i widzimy się na meczach, tam pomacham kiedyś. I typujcie w komentarzach wynik meczu Śląsk-Wrocław, Anwil Włocławek, a dokładnie różnicę punktową. To wszystko z mojej strony. Wesołych Świąt, bo to jest poniedziałek. Dużo zdrowia, szczęścia, szanujcie się, miło spędzajcie czas. Do widzenia.
Do widzenia.